baby. We are ready to rock and roll. It is Thursday, and I'm pumped up for tonight's show. This is a gentleman that I've been waiting to have on for a while. As soon as we started doing the promos for this show, bunch of players, coaches started hitting us up saying we can't wait to see Coach Stewart. So I'm excited to bring Coach Brian on. But first and foremost, I want to introduce my boy from St. Louis that holds me down every week. What's going on, Guru?
Hey, man, look, we going to start this off, man. Shout out to Coach Beam, man. Like, big blessings out to Coach Beam. Man, he's been, man, an awesome godsend for that community. I know that community is embracing him, man, and man, there's all blessings out to his family. Yeah, man, my man just got to pull through, and I know he will and have a full recovery, man. So we gonna start it off like that, man.
I have nothing but love for Coach Beam.
Yeah.
I've known him for such a long time, man. He sent me players and always treated me like I was one of his. So I love Coach Beam.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, and definitely some sad news as we open up the locker room show. Guru, thank you for stating that. And I know, Coach Stu, you've been in the game for a while, so I figured you knew Coach Beam. And, you know, if you guys don't know who Coach Beam is, many of you may know him from the Netflix series, Last Chance U. He coaches junior college football for years. Laney College in Oakland, California, built a powerhouse at Skyline High School in California, has pumped out guys to college, to the league, and unfortunately, you guys, just tragic incident today where he's actually suffering from gunshot wounds. So please keep Coach Beam in your prayers, and we're praying for your coach and all of the players and people you've touched in the community that you pulled through, Coach.
Sure.
Thank you for sharing that. And I already see some people coming up. HB, who Bay Area native.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Always prayers up. So definitely, and he's going to pull through. That's a tough cat right there.
Yeah, that's a tough cat.
That's a tough cat right there. So let's get into it, you guys. You know, we are blessed. We are blessed tonight to have an opportunity. It is not too many times, as I've told you before, that during the season, a coach is willing to take his time to invest into our athletes, into our coaches, our parents. But Coach Stewart said, I'm that type of guy. I'm that type of guy. He raised his hand. He said, let me come on in the locker room and talk about our program at Middle Tennessee State, where he's the defensive coordinator, but also talk about some of the top topics in football and his journey, you guys. So we are blessed. We're going to get Coach in and out of here. And, Coach, thank you for joining us tonight.
Man, it's my pleasure, T. Guru. It's my pleasure to talk some ball with some guys, man. I really appreciate you guys. Really do.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. And I see people already coming in to see what's up with Coach. D-Mac, one of my former teammates, Derek McCoy, saying prayers out to Coach Beam. So thank you, D-Mac. Yeah. But let's get into it. If you're joining us for the first time, all of our topics are on the bottom ticker, baby. So we get in and we get out of each topic. Once again, tonight we are blessed to have someone that has done it at a very high level, you guys, for a long time, and now he is calling the shots at Middle Tennessee State. So, Coach, I want to get into this because I was looking over the track record, and the track record is extensive. You know, started in '93 at Cal Poly, all the way now, Coach, to 2024. You've coached even professionally. So, I wanted to ask you, when did you decide that you were going all in on coaching? Was it from the first job? Was it in the middle? What made you decide to go all in?
This is to make a long story short, it was April 29th, 1992. Some people are too young to even remember and know what happened, but the verdict for Rodney King came out. And I was coaching high school ball at Locke High School. In Watts, California.
Yep.
Home of Darian Hagan. So, you know, I was coaching there.
My man. Big shots out to Keely Roberson, man. That's my caddy out of him and Sir Parker out of Locke.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is the city was immediately on fire, engulfed. Because everybody said, we got the police on tape. We've seen it. Everybody's seen it. The world has seen it. And then they get off. And I knew, one, at that time, I had finished playing, and I was getting paid minimal, but I had some money saved up, and I didn't finish my degree when I finished playing. It was just, I just wanted more, and I thought I could help the community by getting some of the kids at Locke, some of the kids at Fremont, some of these kids out of that, so they don't have to worry about the sheriff stopping them, the LAPD choking them. They didn't have to worry about that. So then that started me on my journey. I called Coach Joe Harper, who was at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, who recruited me to Northern Arizona, and I talked to him. He hooked me up with LaCharles McDaniels, who close friend, and LaCharles got me started. And once I got started, I went there to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, where I learned how to coach, where Lyle Sedicic gave me a great opportunity to have my own position room, show me how to recruit, and I was going to school. I was going to school full time as well as coaching. I was making about $5,000 a year, not a month, a year. And so I waited tables. I drove a bus for handicapped, disabled, just older people that were disabled, adults.
Yeah.
And so, I did whatever I could, but I love the sport, man. My first time I was in the booth, we were playing against UC Davis, and the whole week we were prepping, trying to get ready for this game, and then we play, and I'm just like, it was the most exciting thing outside of playing that I've ever did.
Yeah.
And then I got the bug right there, and then I said, I got to do that. And then I got one of the luckiest breaks I got is Tom Jurich was the AD when I was a player at Northern Arizona. And he was the AD at Northern Arizona, and he was getting ready to take another job. But before he did, he found out I was coaching, and he kind of strong-armed the Northern Arizona coach at the time, who didn't have any connections with me, strong-armed him to hire me as restricted earnings so I would get my degree where I played at. And that really taught me, it taught me that if you were a good person, not just a good player, but a good person, people remember that, and they want to help you when they can help you. And that was awesome, and then that got me started. And then, as you see the resume, I've been all over the place. But the main thing is I feel like I've never worked a day in my life because it's my passion. My why is my love, admiration, and respect for football, what it's done for me, what I can help it do for young men, and what it's done for you guys, having a show, being friends, all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing, Coach. And to think
Yeah.
that it all stems from the Rodney King and such a negative incident inspired you to make change, and you made tons of changes in people. So, wow, that's special right there. And you guys see right here the extensive coaching record. I mean, he's been at some of the best universities someone could ask for, the Baylors, the Marylands, the Middle Tennessees, the Northern Arizonas, you guys, and then coached in the NFL as well. So it all inspired from a tragic moment. So we appreciate you sharing that, Coach. On to our next topic, and this is one that I definitely want to ask you about because, there's being an assistant coach and then there's being a coordinator, which is a totally different ball game. And I don't know, and I don't know what you know, Q, but can you give us a little insight into your process to get ready yourself and to get the team ready, the defense ready to perform on a Saturday?
Yeah. So I'll just start with weekly. First of all, let me start with the summer. The summer before the season even starts, I try to call about 4 or 5 offensive coordinators at all levels, from the NFL, college, high school. And I asked them, what are 2 things that you guys have trouble with? And I write them down, and then I take a poll, just basically what are the common denominators that they talk about. And then I start formulating from what I I do with what they say hurts them and how I can implement those things. Then I go in and I talk to our defensive staff when we come back from break. And I talk to them and I tell them, I'm very honest and open with them, that these are some of the things that I talk to offensive coordinators about. And these are the 4 things that we're going to have to be good at if we want to be able to stop offenses. And then I divvy up the responsibilities. You know, my D-line coach, he's in charge of the run game. So he knows every run they do, how they block it, what front our best front, our best defense, and then he's working on that. I got my linebacker coach. He does all the red zone stuff. He does the red zone trick plays, and he goes through all that stuff, and he really dissects that. Then I have my outside linebacker coach. What he does is he does the pass rush. How can we protect? How can we attack the protections? Then I have a DB coach. He does all passes except for third down, and then I do all the third down passes and third down plan.
Gotcha.
Then what we do is we do it weekly. We do it daily. So on Monday is when we're all sitting there formulating a plan. So what I do is some guys put the plan together. I don't do that because I got an idea of what I want to do and what I want it to look like. So what I do is I tell the defensive staff, here's the defensive calls that I like. And that here's the defensive calls that we're proficient in. So once we do that, then when they're doing their reports, if you will, they're thinking, hey, this will be good against this, and this will be good, and we can stop them in this. And I don't like this versus this because of this. So it's a great conversation as we go through the week. The week usually starts off, like I said, Monday, we're going through it. So it starts off the runs. Then it starts off the pass. Then it starts off then we go third down, early third downs. Then we do goal line and short yardage because we have pads on Tuesday. So we want to be able to practice goal line short yardage on Tuesday. And then then Tuesday after practice, we're looking at third down. We're looking at red zone. We're looking at 2 minute. So we pick different areas. And again, I already have the call sheet up so that they can look at it. And then we add more than we subtract rather more than we add. So I like different things. When I put up things, I try to have 2 or 3 things from the field, 2 or 3 pressures from the boundary, a middle pressure, a base outside pressure, because that's where our defense is based off of. And then I try to have simulated pressures that come from the field, come from the boundary, come from the middle. And then we just mix up coverages. How can I make cover 2 look like cover 3? How can I make quarters look like man, and do those things? And then we talk about the disguises and why the disguises will work this time. You know, like everybody says, just do this disguise. Well, if the X receiver is their best receiver and it's 3-by-1, then what I want to do is I want to show middle field here when it's cover 2, and then he pushes over the X receiver.
Get over the top of him, yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Instead of him being down and then that guy runs and then we're both running to go get him. So
yeah,
just stuff like that. We do a good job. I think our coaches do a good job. You know, I got a good staff. I think they do a good job. They understand, they respect the chair, but they know how to challenge my authority when they feel convicted about something. And I want that. I learned that as a young coach when I was with Wade Phillips. Wade Phillips would always tell me, he would say, hey, that you're doing a great job, but I like this. And I say, Coach, we can't be in man the whole time. You know, he taught me, you got to challenge me for your guys, especially if you're passionate about it. You got to challenge me. Now, I'm not going to say you're always right. I may not agree, but at least I know how you feel about what's going on.
Right.
And so I listen to my coaches, and sometimes I got to go to lunch with them and tell them, hey, I'm not dismissing your feelings or how you feel about this play or this defense. But what I am telling you is that we're not going to have an opportunity to do that because it's not in our wheelhouse. We don't do that well. And I know it protects your guys, but that's not where we are right now. And then we leave that conversation, and then I don't want to hear about it again.
Yeah. Hey, that's real. Now for you young players that are listening, because we have a coordinator on with us tonight. I'm sure he'll agree. One thing I will always say, regardless, whoever your position coach is, whatever it's installed, and this goes for offensive or defensive side of the ball, but especially on defense, play fast, play 100 miles an hour. And the other thing that I know I've always instilled in kids that I've trained is you can talk your way through so much if you all are talking out there, right? It's
Oh my
loud,
goodness.
you're on the road, you can't hear, it's a lot going on. But even if you get a call from tell them, coach, even if you get a call from the box and it's confusion, if y'all talk it through, y'all might be in the wrong front, wrong coverage. But if y'all all wrong together, you can get through that series. Right?
All wrong, but all right. That's exactly
you can get through that series.
You're absolutely, you preaching to the choir. Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
That's good right there,
Coach.
Let me ask you, Coach, because you said Wade Phillips said, hey, go to bat for your guys. Have you ever found yourself as an assistant going to bat with the head coach for a particular player, not a play, for a player?
Absolutely. Many times in the NFL, if you look at NFL, some of the NFL teams I've coached, I've always had players that were with me at other places. You know, when I was at San Diego Chargers, there was a kid that played for me at Syracuse, and I knew he wasn't get drafted, but I knew he was smart enough to handle what we did. So I went to our head coach and I went to our GM and they said, we ain't drafted him. I said, we don't have to draft him. I don't think because he's a white corner, he's not going to be draftable, but he'll come to us and he'll play. He ended up playing for 9 years. And, you know, if you remember the butt fumble, Stephen Gregory was the one who picked up the butt fumble. So he played for me at Syracuse. I had a kid that played for me at Nebraska, you know, Chris Jones. When I was at Detroit, I brought him. I'm an advocate for my guys now. I'm an advocate for my guys. And when I'm recruiting a kid, once I recruit a kid and I know he has character, he has talent, he loves the game, and he has a support system, I want him. I want him. And everybody's just like, everybody says, you said support system. He has to have both parents. I did not say that. I said a support system. He has somebody, whether it's a coach, auntie, grandma, Uncle John, whatever, that he could talk to that helps sort out problems. So when he has that, then I know he has a process. So it'll be easier for me to talk to him because he understands verbalizing what his problems are. But if he doesn't have that, then it's hard because he can't communicate with me. And then if we can't communicate, it's hard for me to advocate for him because I don't know what he's going through.
Wow, that's big right there. And you guys see why we wanted to have Coach Stewart on and why he's so beloved in the industry is because he gets it. He gets the other piece, not just the X's and O's. So thank you for sharing that, Coach. We're on to our next topic. And Guru, I'm going to start with you on this one, man. We've been talking about a lot of the coaches leaving. And, of course, James Franklin is one of the hot names to get another job. And there's some young up-and-coming coaches that are looking maybe for their first shot, like Summerall at Tulane or Heartline coming out of Ohio State. So let me ask you, Guru, because you get pretty animated about some of these topics. If I'm being recruited by Heartline and now all of a sudden he's going to Virginia Tech, or I'm being recruited by Summerall and now all of a sudden he's going to Auburn, or maybe I'm a freshman at Penn State and now Franklin's going to UCLA. Does that mean I should up and leave with Coach too?
Man, I'm out. You heard what Coach just said. The man just said it 37 seconds ago. If coaches leave, because he saw something in me that he already knows what he has in me, and I know what I have in him as a coach. That relationship is already rock solid. So if he's out, I'm out. It's as simple as that. You
All
go with
right.
who rocks with you, man. Like the school is irrelevant. The team is irrelevant, man. When it comes to your coach and you have that relationship and he came to get you and he sat down at your mama's kitchen table, I'm going where that man's going. There's no
All right. All right.
need to roll the dice anywhere else.
Coach, let me. I know you're used to wearing the coaching hat. Let me. I know you're a parent of some daughters. Let me put
Yeah.
on the parent hat. One of your daughters comes to you, volleyball player, something, and says,
Yeah,
"I'm a
they're volleyball
freshman."
players. Yeah.
Okay, so you can relate. Dad, my head coach is leaving. I'm a freshman. Should I stay or go? What's Daddy Stewart's advice?
I mean, the first thing I'm gonna say is, well, first and foremost, I'm gonna know the relationship.
Okay.
I'm gonna know and understand the relationship. If that person
Okay.
did a good job recruiting my daughter, then they know me and they know her, and they have. And during the recruiting process, I felt that they had her best interests in mind. Okay,
Okay.
so then now when she asked me, I'm just like, let's make sure that it's full scholarship. You know, let's
All right.
let's make sure that
Yeah.
because let's face it, the coach can't take everybody,
Yeah.
right? Can't take
Yeah.
everybody. So before we even get that, I'm gonna do that. My daddy due diligence. I'm gonna text the coach. I'm gonna say, hey, congratulations on the new gig. Hey, listen, Layla, Maya, whatever one of my daughters would like to follow you. How are you handling that? And then he'll say, thank you for the congratulations. Let me sit in the chair first, but I would love to have her. Then I know he can't speak on it. If he says,
Okay.
I don't know if they'll let me bring anybody, that's a hint for I ain't bringing nobody. So I'm good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know,
Great feedback right there. So
That is.
some of you, we asked that because this is real time for some of
Yep.
you guys. But you hear Guru and Coach. Hey, if the relationship is hot, you guys are all individual contractors. If the
That's exactly
relationship
right.
is hot, then go with the relationship. If it's
Yep.
not, then maybe make some adjustment.
But make sure you talk to the
Go ahead,
coach.
Coach.
Get it clear. Get it clear.
Yeah.
Get the coach to say, because a coach, when you call them, they can't say yes or no. But what they can say is, let me get to the office. And when they say, let me get to the office, and then let me clear some things up. All right. But I would love to have you, or you know how I feel about you. That's saying yes. Okay. If they say, I don't know if they'll let me, or I don't know means no. That's a coach speak for no.
They always know.
Yeah, we know.
Okay, I love it.
We know. We
Yeah.
know. Like if
Now
it,
that's some sauce for you.
you know what I mean? When they
Yeah.
say I don't know, I'm not sure, bruh. You took the job and you couldn't say I'm bringing 20.
Yeah.
Nobody
That's
takes
a
the
good
job and does
point,
that.
Coach. That's a good point,
Yeah.
Coach.
Oh, and that's
Definitely.
right there, Coach Hughes. You said read the room. So yep, just like what Coach Stewart's saying is reach out and try to read the room so that you know what your situation's like. So that was some sauce right there. You guys might want to
Yeah.
run that one back. All right,
Yep.
we are on to our next topic, and we're ripping and running with the great Coach Brian Stewart. Has coached some dogs, you guys, at all levels, and he's giving us some great advice tonight. I want to start off with you on this one, Guru. We got some OGs in the NFL. We got Russell Wilson, who, has won a Super Bowl. And at one point, many people thought he'd be a Hall of Famer. And then, of course, we've got the great Aaron Rodgers, who has bounced around lately, and things aren't looking too hot for the Steelers, man. And I wanted to ask you, Guru, can someone tarnish their legacy? Can someone that might be on track to be a Hall of Famer go somewhere else in the later years and actually tarnish their Hall of Fame ballot? What's your opinion on that, Guru?
I mean, no, I agree, man. I mean, it's one of those things where we gladiators, man. I mean, we always gonna think, man, we got one more series up in us, right? But you really have to take a look at statistically and also production wise, where am I at? And if you are honest with yourself, like with Russell Wilson, if he's honest with himself and he's looking at his completion percentage, he's looking at yards, he's looking at his interception ratio, he's about done. He's about done. And we all wish him the best, but you know good and well, obviously, that like this isn't Seattle Seahawks Russell Wilson, right? You know, and I get that everyone, you know, as you age as an athlete, injuries or what have you, you taper off a little bit. But let's be honest, you know, we've seen a clip, you know, Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice is the worst freaking example you could ever go by, right? Jerry Rice is a mutant. You'll never see it before, and you'll never see it again. 42 years old out there getting 1,300 yards receiving. So don't ever use Jerry Rice as an example. But for the rest of everyone else, you have to know, man, when it's really that time. And yes, to answer your question, you can severely tarnish, you know, your legacy if you're not careful and really gauge, man, and be honest with yourself when to shut it down, man.
Okay. Coach, you coached at that level, so you know the respect for some of the guys that are the legends in the game. Do you think someone could be a great and on track for the Hall of Fame and then mess it up by playing too long?
I don't know if mess it up is the thing, but I do think that the longer you don't have production, the newness of you not being a good player shines.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Recency bias.
Yeah. Because you know, there's probably more people that don't remember Russell Wilson winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So right now, a lot of people are just remembering him, just like, man, he was terrible with Pittsburgh. He was terrible with, you know, they can't remember success.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not their fault. And then I look at the players. I was in Dallas when we brought in Brad Johnson. Okay, Brad Johnson played for us. Me and Brad Johnson was in high school at the same time. So that'll tell you, I was like,
yeah,
well, I was a coordinator, but I'm not mad at him. What? Don't take $4 million, $5 million.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you know, he knew. I don't want to be running. I don't want to do this. I don't want to. But they
somebody's paying them.
Yeah, they give me $7 million. And so you would like to think, man, you got enough money. One thing I learned about being a pro athletes, I used to say, if you were on my clinic tape, I would give you $10. Don't you know them dudes are $1 million dudes, and they see my clinic tape, you owe me $10. Yeah. So that'll give you an idea of how they feel about money.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's the principle of they're going to give me money. Like Aaron Rodgers is smart enough to know that, look, I got to stop this. You know, the next thing that's going to happen is a major injury that I can't really just get up and walk away from and be fine with the rest of my life.
Yeah, he's going to be like Joe Theismann or something.
Yeah. He got to know that. So why? It's because people keep giving up money.
Yeah.
And if you give me $9 million and play for the Steelers,
yeah,
but
it's one of those things too. You know, you look at it, and you know, different sport, but you know, it's you see that classically, you know, with a lot of boxers. You know, even Ali, it was you know, when exactly to shut it down. And as great as Ali was, it was like the world knew that he was like, hey man, like we can't even bear to see this. And obviously, you know, his last fight against Larry Holmes was, I mean, that was tragedy. You know, I mean, if you look at the clip, like Larry Holmes is literally like, I had tears in my eyes beating
you and me both. You and me both. And the worst thing is, you know what? I remember the LA Times said Larry Holmes just killed Santa Claus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because nobody liked Larry Holmes. Nobody embraced Larry Holmes because he beat Muhammad Ali.
Literally.
Because they're like, you knew, but Muhammad Ali took that fight because he felt he had to take that fight. He felt like the money, the purse was too big not to take that fight.
Yep. So you have to know as an athlete, man, you know, your heart is never gonna give up, right? But you have to be You have to be cerebral enough of an athlete to know, man, hey, what is it like? I get the money's on the table, but what is it really worth? You know, you go out like Alex Smith. I mean, what are you doing here, man?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
like
yeah,
Coach said, your legacy,
because I
how
look
people
at
view you.
yeah, I
Yeah.
look at Barry Sanders, Jim Brown, Barry Sanders, Megatron, Calvin Johnson. Those dudes, they looked at it and said, "Look, I'm more than that. I'm more than whatever you're gonna give me, however you're gonna pat me on the back. I'm more than that, and I can get on with my life. I'm good with that."
Yeah.
And those guys did.
I remember you remember Robert Griffin. Robert Griffin kicked it
Same
off.
thing.
Robert
Griff did the
Griffin was
same
only
thing.
like 26, 27, and he shut it
Robert
down.
Griffin
He
said,
shut
"I
it
don't
down
need
in
this."
his prime and was like, I'm out. In his
And he was
prime.
good. And he was good with it.
Yeah.
You,
And
you
walked
don't.
away.
You didn't see him
Nothing.
complaining, talk about I got this. He was. I'm out.
I'm out. Tell him, Coach, man, in his prime. He wasn't even 28. He was like 26, 27. I'm out.
Still a very productive player. And
Super
he said, I'm out.
productive. I'm out.
I'm a leave when I could pick up my kids. I could run around. I could jog with my wife. I'm good.
I'm good. I'm out.
No,
Exactly right.
that's big, you guys, and it is tough. It is tough to find out when is your last play. So hopefully we can remember these guys winning Super Bowls. But like Coach said, some of these younger guys, they're not going to remember Russell in Seattle or Aaron in Green Bay as much. So that's big right there. We are with the great Coach Brian Stewart. Got a couple minutes left here. And this is one I definitely wanted to talk about. And we'll start off with you on this one, Coach. But obviously, money is involved now in college football. And, they have to cut the check, especially at the Power 4 level. I know Middle Tennessee isn't cutting as big of checks, but you guys are still cutting checks. So I wanted to ask you, since this new element has come into recruiting, Coach, how do you evaluate if a kid is still in it for the love of the game and not just for what it can provide financially?
It's funny when we talk about this, you guys are going to see it. You and Guru are both going to see it. You know what? They don't have to tell us. We're going to see. You know what I mean? And you say, how do I see that? Well, I'm going to look at the grades. That's one. I'm going to go to the school and I'm going to ask them who their favorite teacher is. I'm going to go to the custodian. If they're a good player, the custodian, the person cleaning should know who they are. Right? In a good way.
That's a good
In a good way.
That's a good one right there.
And then if he's on 7-on-7 team, I'm going to ask his teammates. And they're going to say, oh, man, that's my guy. That's my dude. He'd be like, no, or they're going to say, he's a good player, but no compliments. So I'm a dance all around this circle because, man, I got to give this dude some money to get him. So what's his love of football? Then I'm gonna check out his social media. Is he talking about girls? Is he talking about what's he talking about? If he always got a football highlight on there, if he's always liking if he's a DB liking other DBs, if he's a running back liking pro running backs, all that stuff tells me what you do in your free time. In your free time, you're looking at football. If in your free time you're looking at IG models, in your free time you're looking at TikTok dances, then that's what you're going to be doing in your free time. You're not going to have time to get better as a football player because we all know once it gets started, just practice ain't enough.
Yeah, never is.
Practice ain't enough. You're gonna have to do more. And lifting practice and in study hall, you still got to do more.
Yeah.
College sports is a full-time job. So you trying to give a full part-time effort to a full-time job, I'm gonna know that before I get you on campus.
Yeah, that's real.
Guru, Coach, let's say you coaching at UT, you in Texas, and 4-star DB in front of you. He wants 100,000, 200,000, and he's saying, Coach, I like to talk about money, but I can back it up. Is that good with you, Coach Guru?
I mean, yeah, I'd expect him to say that, especially if he's a highly decorated player. But I'm gonna go back to what Coach is saying. I always say, man, you go back to that high school coach. You're gonna ask, his teammates the same exact thing verbatim. What Coach said. If you a corner and I go on your social media, I better see clips of Sauce. I better see clips of Certain. You know what I'm saying? Because
That's exactly right.
that has to do with you mastering your craft. You understand? Because it's a job now, and especially
So that's a red light if you don't see that.
100%, man. Because man, this is here's the thing that you have to understand, man. Once you take this bread, you got to live up to that.
100%.
You can't be up here taking these people money, man. And the more money, obviously, the higher the expectations. So if you 100, 200K corner, you better be locking down everybody. And the only way to do that is you don't have to outwork everybody because there's killers out there that have all the athletic ability you do. So who's going to separate the cream from the rest of the guys? It's going to be because you're going to have to be in the film room. You're going to have to be critiquing. Yeah. You're going to have to be in Sauce and Certain's inbox. Hey, OG, hey, I'm going to send you this, man. Let me know what you think. That's what I did. I had to learn that. That's what helped me out immensely in college, man. I had an opportunity, our weight coach, Big Matt, he started a tackle at Virginia blocking for Tiki and got me hooked up with Rondé. Man, I used to kill Rondé Barber's inbox. Kill it every weekend, week out. Hey, OG, hey, check this out, man. Hey, how was I looking my feet on this one? How was my 90 read on this one? You got, man, it's perfection. It's working towards being perfect as you possibly can at your particular position. If not, you doing yourself, you doing your coach and your teammates and these fans and the boosters a disservice.
Disservice. That's exactly right.
Period.
Right. But then now you're forcing the coach to use now you're forcing me to use the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Because you're not living up to expectations. And then now I got to use the transfer portal.
And they will find a replacement. Make no mistake.
Make no mistake.
Quickly.
Don't overprice yourself.
Coach got a mortgage. He ain't playing with you. Yeah. Coach got bills. Ain't nobody gonna play with you, man. You come up here, man. We gonna play ball. Or you gonna go home.
That's exactly right.
I love it. All right. Well, hey, let's get on to our next topic. And you hear that they're not playing. If they're paying, you better show up. So let's get on to our next topic, which is the lightning round. We love the lightning round. If you're joining us for the first time, this is our version of word association. The great Coach Stewart has 60 seconds, y'all. 60 seconds to get through our list.
Let me get my
He was fast. He was fast back in his day. Now we're gonna give two. I see a little tech delay, so we usually give one for tech delay, but we're gonna give Coach two on this one. Now, Coach, all you gotta do is say the first thing that comes to your head when I say something off my list. All right, unfiltered. First thing that comes to your head. All right.
Okay.
All right, let's rock and roll. Coach has 60 seconds. I'm going to get my stopwatch ready here. Make sure I ain't cheating, Coach. And the magic number, Coach, we don't just do this for fun. We actually put a dinner on it. So I know that there's probably some good food out there in Tennessee. So your favorite dinner spot on me and Guru, if you can get to 15 or higher. If you can answer 15 or higher, 60 seconds.
Here we go.
Coach got a dinner on Coach Wood and Guru. And keep in mind, he gets 2 for tech delay. So even 13 puts him in the mix. All right, Coach. You ready to roll?
Yep.
All right. Number 1. First thing that comes to your mind, Coach. Flagstaff, Arizona. Go.
The Dome.
Derek Mason.
Teammate.
Hot link or hot dog?
Hot link.
Best player you ever coached against?
Against.
Against.
Aaron Rodgers.
Lamar Jackson or Randall Cunningham?
Ooh, Randall Cunningham.
Sweet potato pie or cheesecake?
Sweet potato pie.
Wade Phillips.
Guru.
NIL.
Spoiling kids. Spoiler.
Trip to Dubai or trip to London?
Dubai.
50 seconds, coach. Deion Sanders.
Elite.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Pralines and cream.
Lauren Hill or Alicia Keys? Time.
Alicia Keys. Alicia
Give
Keys.
him now.
to you, Coach.
Alicia Keys.
Alicia Keys.
Lauren Hill looked like she's mad at people all the
And
time.
we had a little tech delay.
Yeah.
We had a little tech delay, so we're going to give Coach 2. We're going to give Coach 2 on here. So let's revisit. Let's revisit as we always do. And then 15 is our number. 15 is our number. So number 1, Flagstaff, Arizona. He played there and coached there. He said the Dome. They've got a dome in Arizona. Derek Mason, his old teammate from college, and now the head coach in Middle Tennessee. He says teammate. Number 3, hot link or hot dog. Coach says, give me the hot link. Number 4, you've ever coached against. Coach has coached against some dogs. He says Aaron Rodgers. Number 5, Lamar Jackson and Randall Cunningham. Coach says, give me the old school Randall Cunningham.
Oh,
Number
man.
6, sweet potato pie or cheesecake. He says, give me the sweet potato pie. Number 7, Wade Phillips. He coached with him in Dallas. He says, Guru. Number 8, NIL. He says, spoils the kids. Number 9, Dubai or London. Coach says, take me overseas to Dubai. Number 10, Deion Sanders. He says, elite. Number 11, favorite ice cream. He says pralines and cream. And then number 12, he says Alicia Keys over Lauren Hill. So with the tech delay, 14, Coach. You were so close. 14. I think it was the best player. The best player you coached against. That one had.
I knew that was good. Coach been in the game so long. That's always a tough one, man.
You know, because you think about everybody. You know, you think about Dana Hall. You know, Dante Hall when he was. I played against him when we were in Missouri, and he was at A&M.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, I go to Chargers, and he's in the Kansas City Chiefs. I was so tired of Dante Hall running back.
Man, hey, Dante Hall was nasty. Oh, he was so nasty, too.
You know, but I can't say he was the best player because all he did was just kicks. I don't even remember if he was what position he played.
Yeah, he played in the slot a little bit. They had like Eddie Kennison and you know what I'm saying. They had some killers out there.
That's what I'm saying. I can't remember, but so I couldn't say he was the best. But I just remember his name. Just oh my God, this kid's following me.
So many. So many. Well, we appreciate you having fun with us, Coach. And now we are on to the official last segment of the show, the audience Q&A segment. We've had a blast. A lot of you guys are going to have to run this back because Coach gave you some insight on how you need to be thinking. So a lot of you guys need to run this back. But if you have a question for Coach, our comment section is live. But Guru, I know you got something for Coach.
Definitely, Coach. So the question I had for you this evening, man, is tell us who, because you've been around so many great players, so many great coaches. Who is your GOAT and why, coaching wise?
Well, man, it's funny you say that because I go to different people for different things. You know, when I want to know why somebody's doing something offensively, I talk to Andy Reid or Brad Childress because I think those guys, you know, because those were my college coaches. So they felt comfortable saying, hey, they're doing that because of this, you know. So I do like that. When it comes to defense, the two people I lean on the most are this man named John Hoke, who kind of got me started, and then Wade Phillips. Those are my two guys, man. And I talk to them all the time. And Wade does not have a problem telling me what's going on when he sees one of my games. So.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's what we and I asked him, we all, because we always, me and TR, you know, even off the air, man, we'll talk about like when you look at the coach, like these coaching trees, And when you actually, man, work backwards, man, off these awesome, like even Andy going back, Andy Reid and beyond Parcells, and you like, man, you start looking at the coaching tree, man, and a lot makes sense with guys' concepts, man, as you start branching off of those, legendary coaches.
That's exactly right. I'm a 3-4 because I started off with Don Capers, and then from Don Capers I went with Wade Phillips. And Wade Phillips made it so simple that's what I use to this day is his terminology, because it was simple enough that the young kids could pick it up and play fast.
And that's what you want on D, definitely.
Yeah.
That's amazing, Coach. Can I ask you one more before we let you go?
Yeah.
Okay. When you're paying an athlete, is there still a college kid? Does that change the dynamic as far as still feeding into him as a young man? Is it more transactional, or do you think that college coaches should still have an obligation to feed into these young men as people?
So, I'm biased. I'm old school, man. I got to treat those guys like they're my son, because, my responsibility, like I said, my why is admiration, love, and respect for the game of football and what it could do for me and what it could do for them. So I got to make sure I take care of them. I can't jack that up. I believe I can't mess that up. I got to make sure I do everything I can for them to be successful. Checking on their grades, talk to them. I know there's money, but I'm not getting paid that money, and I'm not mad at them for getting money. I remember when I was in college and $20 was like I had $1 million, you know what I mean? And I didn't even want to wash my clothes because that'd be too many quarters, and it now breaks up my $20, right? So you think about that, then I'm not mad at them because they're getting paid. So I'm just going to pour into them as much as I can to get the best, to create the best person, as well as me trying to be the best mentor I can just by my walk in life. They don't have to worry about me doing a whole bunch of different things, seeing me drunk, seeing me out with women. I'm married. I love my wife. I love my girls. I want to show them how to be a father. I want to show them how to be a man. I want them to do good in school, and I'll tell them why, because a little money you're getting right now, you may get more money now than you ever get once you get out of, because there's a kid from Ohio State, man. He's suicidal because he made $400,000 at Ohio State as an offensive lineman. He tries the NFL, doesn't go to the NFL, right? He's working at Home Depot, making great money, great benefits, but now he can't live in the same type of apartment that he had. Now he had to give back the little Hellcat he has, and now he had to get a regular. He can't. He's just like, but
he thinks he's a failure.
Bro, you're fine. You're a man. You're doing what men do.
You're 20-something. You're 22.
Men do. That was aberration. That $400,000 for 2 years. You took advantage of that. I wish you would have saved. I wish you would have done something with. I wish I would have known you then, because then I could have told you, hey man, put that away, save that, so that now you won't be embarrassed that you have a good job. You won't be embarrassed that you're not making $400,000. You won't be embarrassed. You'll understand that, hey, this part of the game is take the money, what that can, invest, buy a home, buy an apartment, but buy something that is gonna get better later, appreciate, and then get you a good job.
Yeah.
And then use that job for your benefits and everything, and be a good person. And then you can tell them, sure, nothing wrong with telling them stories. Everybody tells stories when they play football. And you can even make the stories better. So you made $1 million, as far as they know.
Right. Thanks.
No, that's amazing, Coach. And I see the great Coach John Hughes saying, that's what I just told my son. And his son, you talk about CCSF, his son is an All-American corner, Coach, at CCSF right now. So we'll talk offline, because Middle Tennessee wants some DBs, Coach Hughes.
Yes, they do. Yes, we do.
Yeah. Gotta have some DBs.
So we'll definitely we'll be talking. Young people learn about ETFs. Yes, okay.
Yes,
Big Ruck says, hey, get your investment on. Get your investment.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So,
we probably need this. I think the schools do a disservice. I think before a kid gets any money, anything over $50,000, I think they need to go to a class. Where you're going to put the money, how are you going to get the money to pay your bills? What's your bills? You're not buying a car because why do people sell these kids cars when they can't? That's not a contract. You just got money for this time right here.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And you got
know what I mean?
overpaid. You got overpaid, so you better really take care of it.
Yeah,
You
so
shouldn't have got that much.
I remember a kid got mad at me because I said, just buy. He said, I get 5,000 a month. I said, you better save some of it and then buy you a cash car, buy you a Honda Civic, buy you a Camry, and
Yes.
pay $6,000 or $7,000 for it. Pay that. Don't get a car note because you know what you're gonna be doing in 3 years. I'm gonna be a pro. No, wrong answer. You're not
You're
gonna
going
be
to
a
be
pro.
taking that car back.
Yeah, you're not gonna be a pro. You just don't worry. Don't think I'm gonna be a pro because that's not the way to think. Well, if you get to be a pro, buy a better car. But until then, buy a car that you can afford.
Well, hey,
That's
we would
real.
drop the mic right there on
Definitely.
that. Coach, let you get back to game planning,
Man,
but
I
we
appreciate you guys.
really
Really do.
appreciate your time. You killed
Anytime,
it.
Coach.
Okay, you guys hit me up until you got my stuff. Make sure Guru got my stuff. If you
For
need
sure,
me,
for
man,
sure.
hit me.
Definitely.
All
Appreciate
right.
you, Coach.
Well, hey, that is the great Coach Stewart. You guys see why we wanted to have him on. We're going to be sending some of you athletes his way. But you guys, he's tried and true in the industry. Everybody loves Coach Stu. And now you guys get a chance to see why, Guru. You know, there's still some good ones left, Guru. There's still some good ones left.
Oh, it is. It is definitely, man. Definitely. It's and I really hope that these young players appreciate when you have a coach like that. Not every coach is like that. So get that understood too. It's some coaches out here, they come in, business like, man, but they don't, not every coach is great at connecting with the kids, some better than others. So when you have a coach that, like, coach, when you hear that term, a player's coach that you have an opportunity to be around and play for, man, you better really appreciate that, because that's not every coach.
Is that something, Guru, that you can pick up on during the recruiting process?
I believe so. I mean, to me, I feel like you might not as a young kid, but that's why, if you notice, Coach said mentioning having a support system, because that support system is going to be present during the recruiting process, and they should be picking up on things that you as a young man might not pick up on.
Okay. All right. So, as a young athlete, know the type of coach that helps get the most out of you, that can make you tick. And before we sign off, we just want to give one more last prayer and just shout out and hearts out to Coach Beam at Laney College in the Bay Area, suffering in the hospital, critical condition from some gunshot wounds and senseless acts of violence. So you guys, if you're praying people, please put some prayers out there for Coach Beam. So that is it for tonight's show. If you're just joining us because you're coming from playoff practice, make sure that you run this show back, because Coach Stewart gave some great sauce and some advice to help you guys get to the next level and make the most of your opportunity. So that is Guru. I'm Coach Wood. We'll have another great guest for you next week. And until then, we'll see you at the top, baby.